Hello and welcome to the Uncanny Weekly News. In this week's episode, we're going to cover a whole lot of fun stuff, including a couple of comic book reviews from this week, as well as the first installment of Uncanny's top 30 trade paperbacks of all time.
We'll also be covering the newest book released by Dungeons & Dragons. And lastly, we'll talk about a couple of different events we're going to have at your local Uncanny stores. I'm Ashlei.
And I'm wearing a new tie.
Okay. This Marvel relaunch really invigorated my interest in the franchise. This week, all new, all different Avengers really caught my eye, with the bang-up team of writer Mark Waid and artist Adam Kubert and Mahmoud Israr. Waid touches on some interesting topics, including the racial quandary Sam Wilson's Cap gets into, involving cookies and a swarm of electronic devices. And even a mention that despite the various teams and titles that are out right now, there is no Avengers, true Avengers team in the Marvel Universe. It seems Waid is trying to show what makes his team different from those that have come before, but the rest of the issue is pretty standard fare. The main story seems to end a bit abruptly, but the shock is nearly eased by the quality of the extended side story. Much of the team hasn't met up with each other yet, but the interactions between those that have make this a title to look forward to. Waid,
you know what's really important about this week, Ashlei? I picked a book outside of my comfort zone. In Superman, American Alien by Max Landis, we'd have a more personal take on the Kent family as a whole. While everybody knows the origin of Superman, what I thought was really interesting about this book was the fact that it dealt with his formative years as he tried to grow up with the powers that he had. John and Martha Kent are just as prolific in this book as Clark himself is, and their reactions to his powers are really what is key. The artist, Nick Dragotta, has done well with drawing the patient frustration that all parents go through as they raise their teenagers. I've never been the biggest fan of Superman, but this book grabbed me in a way that I wasn't expecting. If Superman has never really been your thing, check out American Alien. It's only going to be 7 issues long, so adding it to your weekly pull list won't be an incredibly long engagement.
While we're on the topic of comics, graphic novels or trade paperbacks are bound collections of single issues. Whether they contain a standalone story or a portion of a greater epic, these books are a large part of any comic fan's collection. One question we get frequently is, which books are the best?
We at Uncanny have done a lot of legwork, and we've put together what we think is a nice comprehensive list of the best of the best. And in the first part of an ongoing series, we're going to showcase each one of these books to you.
Whether you're new to comics or an enduring fan, we hope you'll find something that you really enjoy reading. Starting off with number 30 on our list in the top 30 trade paperbacks of all time, we have The Walking Dead Compendium 1.
Walking Dead has come a long way since Robert Kirkman started writing the book over 10 years ago. With 2 television shows and a series of successful video games under his belt, the series has become a household name. Sometimes, though, it's easy to forget where it all began.
Walking Dead Compendium 1 contains issues 1 through 48 of the comic. It covers everything from Rick's coma-inducing shootout at the start of issue 1 to his struggles to reunite with his family. Then, it goes on to his travels with his new compatriots, eventually ending up with them settling in a prison. Through it all, they're consistently under threat by a zombie attack.
This is not a story about zombies, however. This is a story about the survivors during a zombie crisis. As such, you'll find that Walking Dead runs on a premise that no one is ever safe. Throughout the compendium, you'll find yourself falling in love with and then lamenting some really rememberable characters.
Whether or not you're a fan of the television show, we really believe that Walking Dead Compendium 1 will be a great addition to anyone's collection.
So tell me, how awesome is Daryl in the comic book?
Burger. Daryl's not in the comic book.
What do you mean he's not in the comic book?
He was the character created for the show. I know, it's kind of a downer.
You're kind of a downer.
This week, the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide hit the shelves at Uncanny. This book is an absolute must-have for any fan of Dungeons & Dragons 5.0. It features loads of new content, everything from some new sub-races to some new class archetypes.
I really enjoy the new cleric archetype. The arcane domain allows you to create your very own Doctor Strange in D&D, something I've always been looking forward to.
We all love some Doctor Strange. And that's not all. There's some new backgrounds for your characters to allow players to try out new combinations and really inject a new life into their D&D game.
While we're on the subject of gaming, we have some really awesome events coming up.
Oh yeah, what sort of events?
I'm going to answer your question with another question. Have you ever wanted to take a station aboard the bridge of the Enterprise?
Like in Artemis?
Yeah, exactly like an Artemis. You tell people what Artemis is.
Artemis is a starship simulation game where players take control of a station on the bridge of a starship to tackle various problems within a sector of space. It's a fantastic team-building game where everyone needs to work together in order to overcome the problems facing them. For example, if your engineer isn't regulating power well, your weapons could overheat, or your shields could fail, which means that your weapons officer won't be able to defend the ship very well.
This game is a whole lot of fun, and you can try it out at Uncanny Montgomery Mall on November 18th from 6:30 p.m.
On November 14th, which is a Saturday, we will be hosting our very first Warhammer Day at Uncanny Montgomery Mall. Burger, I know you're pretty excited about this one.
Heck yeah, I'm excited about this one. This event will go from 12 to 6 p.m. and feature people playing the game Warhammer 40,000 the entire time. However, if you're more interested in painting, we will have a painting workshop going from 1 to 3 p.m., as well as a in-depth tutorial of the rules of the game going from 3 to 6 p.m. If you've ever thought about playing Warhammer, please stop by and check it out.
You can pick up the Walking Dead Compendium, Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide at your local Uncanny King of Prussia, Uncanny Montgomery Mall, or right here at Comics and More in Plymouth Meeting Mall.
If you'd like to add Superman American Alien or all different adventures to your weekly subscription, that's as easy as giving a call to your local store and asking them to pull a copy for you.
Remember, we can't
be uncanny without you.